peace and love, everybody. I am Judah's son, also known as the Marketing Moor, lawfully known as the Latazah Ben Yasha Allah El. Please forgive me with the shining light in the background. Just bear with me on this video. I'm going to try to make this work as best as possible. And for those who are viewing me on this screen here, bear with me. I'm just trying to, record in two places at once, pretty much. So we're just going to have to see how that's working out. And currently, right now, we're going live on the Put It Out There TV YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out that channel. All right, so let me close this out for this domain and get this out of the way. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this video, as you can see, is a response to brother Sinetta over there at Black News 102 in a video that he had made, this video that we're looking at here. And I know you guys in the screen, you can't particularly see, but the link to this video on another channel will be available, so you can watch it from another angle. It's up to you, however you may want to do it. But in response to this video from Sinetta here, which is entitled, "Why Are We Still Calling Ourselves Africans When We Are Not Africans?" And I thought it was a real catchy title. I was interested in it. I happened to be logged in on one of my other YouTube channels that I've had for years upon years. And I just wanted to, I just happened to come across that video, so I clicked on it. And it seemed pretty good. It seemed like it was going in a good direction, because Brother Sinetta was in here talking about how, we use the internet as a weapon to lynch each other. So-called black people, so-called, the Moors, Israelites, different schools of thought, speaking on how we utilize the internet to, we weaponize it and we use it to lynch each other. And he was going into all these gruesome details about things that would happen to ancestors of ours during certain lynching sessions. What would happen to them when they would hang them, they would burn them, they would, cut off their testicles, things of this nature. He was just going into that, and he was relating that to how we treat each other online, about how we tear each other down. And I was agreeing with the brother. And I'm like, you know what? We are kind of vicious like that when it comes to ourselves with each other, but we seem to be soft and forgiving when it comes to other people. And he was going in and he was talking about how this is something that's been passed down to us from slavery. This is a mentality, a psychology that has been beaten into us, raped into us, murdered into us via slavery. And he was correct about that. And what further drew me to it was the fact that he was speaking on talking about how we're not Africans, and I was in total agreement as far as with that modern term, because it's a Latin term. I don't feel like we should be placing I feel like we shouldn't be using modern terms on us when we're these ancient people, the ancients of the ancients. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that's what we should be doing. And so I was in total agreement with the brother, but then he started lynching. And he started attacking Moors. He started attacking Israelites. And maybe he didn't see it as an attack. And maybe I may be looking at it wrong. But what he said was untrue, at least specifically when it comes to Moors. And he was saying how Moors are scared to take the DNA test, because and Israelites as well are scared to take the DNA test, because what happens is they'll end up having their belief system crashed or crushed, or whatever the case may be. And you even heard little certain epithets now. So these people who still identify with these slave terms have epithets for us who identify with free national principles. So you have ABOs now, which is, I guess, a term used for those who identify with Aboriginal, terms such as that. And I found it to be quite offensive, but at the same time, we're going to use this as an opportunity to educate people. So, first of all, Moors are not anti-Africa. Moors have never been anti-Africa. Moors do not say that they do not come from Africa. And if they are saying that, you have to inquire and ask of the content or the context that they're speaking from. It's just as simple as that. And if you're not doing that due to your lack of knowledge, you find yourself doing with Brother Sinetta here, which is lynching. So before we even go into this, first of all, what I need to make this clear. Those DNA tests are only 0.1% correct. First of all, let's just make that clear. The DNA tests that they are talking about are only 0.1% correct. All right. The people who run these businesses, there was a brother who has one of these DNA businesses. He has a video that probably has hundreds and thousands of millions of views that already states this fact. The DNA tests are not 100%, not 80%, not 10%, not even 1%. 0.1% correct. 0.1% accuracy. That's it. That's not pinpoint accuracy. First of all, let's make that clear. And so with that being said, that is a lie. But let me make sure that I'm not slandering the brother. Let me make sure that I'm not taking anything out of context. Let's listen to what Brother Sinetta is saying. So let me see here. We're going to try to turn up this volume. Make sure you can hear it on there. And let's see what he says here. Let's press play.
Mandingo. You understand? They only call themselves that when they come over here because they know we don't know. So to fit in, they say.
And see, right there, I'm sorry to cut it off. Right there, what he's referring to, because he's saying in Africa, they don't call themselves African. All right, what he's saying is they come here from Africa and they call themselves African because they know that we don't know how to deal with nationality and tribal identity in its proper context. They know that. So they come over here and they play that African game. They come over here and they play that I'm Nigerian game when actually they have ancient names that are even more ancient than Nigerian, and not every group of so-called black people in Nigeria are the same people. There are different tribes, different languages, different cultures, different histories. So that's what Sinetta is talking about. But let's go ahead. Go on here.
Yes, I'm African. But when you question them, like my brother Larry, they'll tell you in a minute, nah, I'm not African. What is you talking about? See, you got to know it. That's not saying we didn't come from Africa. See, I'm letting y'all know that right now. I'm not saying we didn't come from the continent that is known as Africa today. I'm not saying that our bloodline don't come from West Africa. See, so I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying.
And Moors do not say that our bloodline does not come from West Africa. Let's go on. We'll go on though.
What I'm saying, family, is that we did not call ourselves African. We got to get back to finding, and that's why that blood test is so important. They would have you believe, nah, man, don't take that. You don't need to get that. We don't need to get the DNA test. Yes, you do. How else you gonna know who you are? Don't go to one. Get it from like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them if you can, to see if they all add up. And then you know that shit is real. If they all come back saying the same thing, you know that shit is real. Check.
All right. Okay. Right there. And see, this is the thing. And this has already been proven. You see, this is what I was talking about in the video earlier when I was speaking about there was a brother who has a company that deals with DNA tracing and things of this nature. This brother was honest. This was on the news. And I'm going to see if I can find a link for that. And it should be in the description if I do find it. But it was on the news and it was an interview. And the brother said that these DNA tests were only 0.1% correct. And on this particular segment, what happened was it was showing different so-called famous, different famous so-called black people, so-called African Americans who were taking DNA tests, right? And it was saying that they were from this place in so-called Africa. But then they would end up taking another DNA test from another company, and it would say that they came from somewhere else. And then they would take a test from another company and somewhere else, and so on down the line. So none of those DNA tests matched up whatsoever at all. And it took a brother, right? A brother who has one of these companies is probably making millions and millions upon millions of dollars off of so-called black people because they know that they lack an identity. They know that deep down inside that black is inferior, right? So they're paying millions and millions and millions of dollars just for a 0.1% accuracy. a 0.1% accuracy. Do you hear me? So what Sonetta is saying right here is actually, in fact, not even true. Now, peace and love to the brother. And I hope he doesn't, you know, I would hope the brother don't get petty on me and try to flag this video for me utilizing his content. But I'm trying to, you know, it's just a response. We as Moors and Hebrews and things of that nature should have a right to be able to respond. Now, let's continue.
This is why the Abos
See?
and the Hebrews and the Moors are afraid to take that DNA. God damn it, me, Garfield, a few of us say we'll pay for it, but they.
Now you see that? You see the Abos, right? You see that? Talking about lynching, right? Saying Moors and Hebrews are scared to take the DNA test. We're not scared to take a DNA test for them to tell us that we're going to come out of somewhere out of West Africa. And we're not scared to take the DNA test from another company that's going to say that we come from somewhere else out of West Africa. And we're not scared. What's the use of something that's 0.1% correct in the first place? What is the use of that, paying for something that's for 0.1% correct? Can you pass a state certification test with a 0.1 percentage? Can you? Can you get a law degree by passing the bar exam with a 0.1 percentage accuracy or having 0.1% of the test correct? Can you? Please, I would like to know that. Anybody that is watching this, please leave a comment in this video. Please leave a comment in the comments and tell me. Please tell me. I need to know this. Can you pass very important tests with a 0.1 percentage accuracy? Right? All right. So, along with him saying that, see, he's lynching and he's practicing human rights violations, right? Because he's trying to say that we aren't who we say we are, and this test is going to debunk our fantasy, our delusion, or something like that, right? All of this is human rights violation. All of that is the brother's incorrect. He's wrong on so many levels. I'm gonna let him finish, and then we're gonna get into something here.
Not take it. Why? Because if they take it, it destroys everything that they fucking believe. So they can't take it. It destroys their belief system. You understand? So let's get to the first clip. I want to play a clip with Brother Larry. Encounter with one of the African brothers. Let's see. I don't know if I can hear it clear or loud, but I tried to make it as loud as I can. Let's go to the video clip, family.
Now, this is very important. This right here is very important. I'm sorry we had a whole video on here. This right here is very important with Brother Larry, or Professor Larry. Peace and love to him, because no matter what, at the end of the day, these are my brothers and sisters. We are brothers and sisters, whatever, you know what I mean? So it's peace and love to him. But I need y'all to pay attention to this particular video. Pay attention to this segment of the video and keep in mind what he said about those DNA tests. And then I'm gonna go in on that.
You've been here in the United States?
33 years.
33 years? So, you're an African American?
Yeah, I would say. I spent more of my years in America than Nigeria.
In Nigeria. You know, I often talk to people, and I explain to people that the view of us as African is an external view. It's not an internal view. It's not how we view ourselves. It's how those pink people over there view us, right? Because they don't really know us, right? Like in Nigeria, for instance, there's like 200 different cultures there.
Yes.
Different cultures. Distinct languages. Distinct histories that were lumped together by foreigners, invaders, right?
He's correct, 100%.
So from the outside, when someone says Nigerian, they only see one people.
Right.
How's that misleading Psycho.
Now, this is what you need people to focus on. You're hearing him say, when they're hearing